Okay, good morning, brothers and sisters. Let us start the session for today. Warm welcome to our masters, Brother Huang, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe on Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. Okay, today let us share on these good forces of unity, harmony, and cooperation. We must heighten our vigilance in all matters in the world. The human heart, how can it be purified? The human heart requires goodness in the heart and intentions. The forces of the goodness in everyone results in harmony and cooperation. When sincere hearts gather, good thoughts, good intentions, hearts hum in harmony can reach the ears of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas above. The strength of people, Buddhas, and many together becomes a calm and strong power. Unity of hearts, harmony, mutual love, cooperative effort are not just words to be spoken, but actions to be carried out with our whole being. Now, let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Saha land be free from disasters and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
In my heart, I feel deep. All my heart is filled with from darkness that joy and sorrow. And I feel deep grateful. All the Buddhas with heart and dark suffering.
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. There be no disasters in the world. Together we pray for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every people in our lives a healthy body and enlightened mind, and total fulfillment in universal love. Now, let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we hear the wonderful sharing review of wondrous of today, Session, let us invite abode masters to lead us paying divine homage to triple gems. Let us pay our respects for these teachings and explanations to the Buddhas and Master Ching by making three sincere vows. Please rise, palms together, first bow, second bow, and third bow. And a bow to our beloved abode masters who could join us today. Okay, we'll pass the station over to the next sharer, Sister Suchi. And
Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me all right? Yeah. Um, okay. So last week we had the two speakers. The first one was Brother Eugene. Brother Eugene stayed.
Sister Suchi, we can't really hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I will use my phone. Okay, I'll start over again. Okay, Brother Eugene. At first, Brother Eugene's faith knew little of Dharma's stream. A Christian at heart, yet drawn towards Master's dream. Through Chuti's path, he learned to humbly see that giving asks no price, yet sets one free. Each mission taught how small our lives can be, a drop within the vast, unending sea. He saw that love, when boundless and sincere, transcends all faiths and draws all hearts near. In Kaohsiung's translation task, compassion touched his soul. The Syrian refugees' pain made empathy his goal. Their strength through loss reveal life's deeper part, that wisdom blooms when kindness moves the heart. He found that thought alone cannot heal or care, but love gives strength no logic can compare. Through vow and act, his heart found true delight. One thought of good can turn all dark to light. To Buddha's land, Brother Joshua, then that's Dr. Eugene. Then Brother Joshua shared, Brother to Buddha's land, Brother Joshua journeyed, heart open and kind, with vows to serve and teach, his soul aligned. From KLIA, he flew with sisters true to spread the Dharma, to learn and renew. In Lumbini's halls where young hearts grow, he saw how seeds of kindness start to show. Women stitched hope through thread and care. Dreams once silent found life to share. Through walking meditation, peace softly stayed at Maya Devi temple where prayers were laid. He taught village children words and song and urged them to know where they belong. From rice banks grown to mats well spun, each act of love connects everyone. Through Buddha's bathing, vows took flight to serve with joy and spread the light. Okay, then we had our trio, Sister Sahun, Sister Annie, and Sister Wun Tian. Okay, and they spoke about Klang's English veggie promo that has turned 3. 3 years strong, says Sister Sahun, the Klang veggie promo thrive. With love and joy, the movement stays alive. Led by Sister Suisan with steady heart and hand, she plants kind seeds across the Klang land. Each fortnight brings new hearts to the call, to eat with care and cherish life for all, for health, for earth, for beings great and small. Master Cheng Yen teaches love that lifts us all. Like fireflies bright that gather in the night, volunteers' glow of kindness warms the sight. Through rain or shine, the volunteer spirits never tire. Their faith and teamwork spark inspire. Sister Annie recalls when hard times came. During COVID's test, compassion remained the same. Master's call to spare each life so dear still echoes gently year by year. Sister Suisan's guidance shaped the way to keep pure hearts through every day. At many padangs and open spaces they stand, promoting love with willing hands. Care recipients join, their dishes shared. Plant-based meals with thought and care prepared. Fruits and food bring health and cheer. Each act of kindness draw hearts near. Sister Wen Tian shares Jingsi products mindful art, promotes good food that nourishes the heart. From nuts to noodles, simple, pure, and kind. Good taste with wisdom intertwined. Public friends return with smiles anew. Support grows strong, sincere, and true. Each coin, each meal, each gentle deed becomes the root of Dharma's seed. Through giving hearts, blessings softly flow, and from small sparks, great lights will grow. Together they prove what love can do. When one helps one, the world shines too. Okay, that's it from me. 感恩 for listening. I'll hand over to Sister. Okay, this morning is Sister Wai Fong. Sister Wai Fong, over to you.
Good morning, everyone, brothers and sisters here. I'm the host for today and hosting for the first time on this Saturday Hualien sharing session. I must say, first of all, thank you to all the three speakers who have agreed to take your time early in the morning to share with us. Brother Joe, Brother Jeffrey Locke, and Brother Derek. Kanan so much. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Brother Joe, who played such an important role in guiding and nurturing our Tzu English group from the beginning until now. Like what Brother Robert said, the blind leading the blind initially. It's very, I'm one that has benefited a lot from this English group, this Tzu English group. So it's nice to see everyone here. So truly happy to have Brother Joe with us again this morning. Let us welcome Brother Joe, and as he shares his Dharma insights with us. Over to you, Brother Joe. Kanan.
Thank you, Sister Wai Fong. Good morning, everybody. And it's wonderful. I think there's always a first time, and wonderful to have you to be our host. And thanks to the other sharers who are going to be online today. I really appreciate all of your diligence, everybody's diligence, all of us who have gone through all this time. And even though there are times where I cannot be online in the past few weeks, last time I was online was September 20th. So it has been almost a month, and things come and go. And today, finally, there is I'm able to be online at this time to be able to share. So I always appreciate the opportunity, and I appreciate everybody's diligence to be so willing to come online and share. And I think this has been a very, very wonderful platform for all of us who are learning and who are willing to try to go the extra mile, the extra distance to learn and to understand more about the Tzu Dharma School. And I think that's very important. So thank you. Very wonderful. And okay, so let me share what I'm going to talk about today. And it's still the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. All right, so previously, I always like to talk about what happened before because I think it's very important. But today I wanted to, after I go through what happened before, I wanted to get to one specific topic that I wanted to talk about. So as we talk about chapter 1, it's really setting up the stage because in Sutra of Infinite Meanings, I always like to stress that in chapter 1, the Buddha actually hasn't talked. The Buddha hasn't spoken yet in chapter 1. So all chapter 1 was doing, I mean, there are only three chapters in the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. all the chapter 1 was doing was setting up the place. It sets up the place for the setting, letting us know where everything is and where everything is going. So I believe for the Sutra of Infinite Meaning, there is a very important step in history in that it's a turning point. It's a point where Buddha is shifting gears so that Buddha is preparing all of the disciples for a future of change. And I think it sets up by sort of letting everybody know that, first of all, Dharma is going to fit for all sentient beings. That doesn't matter what your background is, it doesn't matter what your problem might be, but Dharma, specifically the teachings, are going to be the answers for you, and regardless of who you are. And I think we know that back in 2,500 years ago, in India, there is a caste. You have a caste system where everybody was born into their caste and they can't move freely from caste to another caste. And once you were born as a untouchable, then you are going to be forever, in the lowest of the low among all people in the society. But Buddha at the time came out with the teachings where not only can the untouchables learn, but they can also benefit, as well as the topmost caste in the society. So this is going to be the answer for all people of background, different caste, different everything, but it's still going to be the answer for you. And it's still going to be learnable. It's open to all. And I think this is something that breaks the tradition. And Sutra of Infinite Meaning is within this tradition. It further talks about that it's not just the answer for now. It's not just the present that we learn it and then we're going to benefit, but it also is going to be the answer for the future. And I think that's very important. Next, we talk about the beginning of the term, which is talking about the students of Dharma. The students of Dharma, they are going to learn. This is not something that you just grow up, that you're just born with. We are going to learn and practice. We learn through practicing the Dharma, and we're going to progress slowly. It's not going to be something that you're going to be born with. And what I'm trying to say is, yes, Buddha nature is inherent. We all know that. We hear this all the time. We were born with this Buddha nature. However, you are born with this nature doesn't mean that you are going to know right away how and when and what to do. But instead, it's a process of learning. And so is the process of turning point here in the Sutra of Infinite Meaning. You have been, all the audience at the time in the Sutra of Infinite Meaning had been a great students of Dharma. They have learned, they have practiced for a long time, and they have progressed well in the learning of the Dharma. However, when we come to chapter 5, which is called the Great Guiding Teachers, this is beginning to tell us that in order for the teachings to continue to sustain into the future, this is what we're talking about now, sustainability, right? We're always talking about sustainability. Can something that our way of life, can it continue into the future, right? We talk about sustainability. We talk about, the energy. We talk about the climate change. Can our way of life continue into the future? That's sustainability. The same idea also holds true for Dharma. Can this teaching continue in the future? And the answer is, it will only be able to continue to the future if the students of today become the teachers of tomorrow. And that's the change. It's no longer enough that we continue to be a good student. We must transform ourselves from the roles of student to be the roles of teacher. And that's the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, where all the audience, all the disciples, all the followers in the audience are okay with the role of students. They are happily learning, and whatever they learn, they apply to themselves, and they practice in their lives, and they become very good at it. However, they are not so much thinking about how to make other people follow this teaching as well. They themselves are fully aware of how difficult it is to learn and practice, especially among the people, where people of different background, of different habitual tendencies, people of all different backgrounds, with all the different ideas, upbringings, knowledge, all the different ideas coming together, it will be virtually impossible to teach everybody. And therefore, most people in the disciples, in the followers, they're very okay with just learning this for themselves, making themselves better, and making sure that they are getting rid of all the afflictions. And they think this is the way to get rid of all afflictions on their own and escape all the sufferings, right? After all, we know from the Four Noble Truth that life is suffering. So one of the most important goal for all the followers is to get rid of all the sufferings. And that's their goal. So the turning point in the Sutra of Infinite Meanings is to tell all these followers that no, it's not enough. It's not enough that you get rid of your own suffering. You must now become the teachers of Dharma. You must now help everybody else to get rid of their suffering. And this requires a change of mindset, in that to be a student is a very different mindset than becoming a teacher. When you're a student, all you're prepared to do is to make sure you do your work, you follow the teachings, and then you make sure that you don't fall out of line. But in order to be a teacher, you have to be very different mindset, in that the attitude is you are making sure that everybody of different backgrounds understand what you're saying. You have to be prepared so that everybody else understands what you're teaching, even though they all have different backgrounds, even though they all have different capacities, even though they might understand things differently. And that's the key. So starting from section 5, we get this understanding, we get this idea where to be a great guiding teacher, that is the goal for the Buddha, to make sure that his followers and disciples can all follow this idea to not just be students, but all have the capacity to become teachers. So starting from section 8 through 11, it's all praises. These are all praises for the triple jewels, or the triple gem in the Buddhism. So the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. And why are there praises? Because it's basically preparing everybody for the coming teachings that Buddha is going to talk about in chapter 2. So all these praises are going back through the past 40 years of teachings, going back through the past 40 years that the Buddha has been with us, been with the Sangha, and telling everybody reminding everybody what our mission is and what our teachings are. So 8 through 11 were praises to make sure that we are preparing to receive the teachings. Okay, so this week on the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, we're going to pick up what we're talking about, the turning point in teaching. And I wanted to stress this because I really think that there are many turning points. But I think in this particular sutra, the Buddha was certain to make sure that we don't just, the followers and the disciples in the audience, don't just stay stagnant at where they are. The Buddha wanted to inspire everybody to be greater than they are in terms of their learning and in terms of their practice. And let me show you some of the evidence that I was able to find in the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. Now, in chapter 1, in the virtues, there is a passage. There are a few passages that connect right one after the other. And I wanted to share with you that these passages actually already have this tendency to tell you that we must be prepared for something greater. So this passage reads, "They let fall drops of dew to immerse the dust of desire." So the writings were actually very beautiful. And I also included the Chinese here. It's 为地先堕，以烟喻尘. And the writings in Chinese is very poetic. And this is the way it is in the Sutra of Infinite Meanings as well as the Lotus Sutra. But why am I trying to bring this up? Because I think that at the very beginning, when the Buddha first turned the Dharma wheel, at first, people received it with much acceptance. They accepted right away because all the teachings right away answer their questions. All the followers, whether they were people from the royalties or they're just commoners, whatever their problems, right away, the Buddha had the answers for. So, for example, the very first turning of the Dharma wheel was the Four Noble Truths. And the Buddha talked about that life is suffering and talked about the origin of the suffering and talked about the goal is to get rid of these sufferings. The goal is to eliminate these sufferings. And finally, how to eliminate these sufferings. So this teaching was exactly what people needed because all their lives, they are stuck with whatever that was plaguing them. The problems were there. And I think the teachings of the Four Noble Truths got to their mind right away because they really understood that in their lives, they're stuck with their affliction. And that was sort of what's called the low-hanging fruit. So the Buddha used the drops of dew, like the Dharma, to immerse, to douse the flames, the dust of desire. And I wanted to focus on the imagery here. It's the drops of dew. The problems were simple enough. It was, you didn't know about this. You were first introduced to Dharma. And right away, the problems were able to be dispersed, right? It's like the first time you hear Jing Si aphorism, the very first time you hear Master talk, and you go like, oh, wow, this is so eye-opening. And I think that's what this is. The drops of dew, because the problems were small, and therefore simple drops of dew was able to right away cure the problem. Then we move on to fanning the wind of liberation. And people were able to eliminate the fiery afflictions of the world. Next, the drop of dew isn't enough anymore. You are going to fan the wind. And if you know that if you have a spark of fire, a drop of dew is enough to douse that fire, that little spark. However, if you have a flame, one spark is not enough to put out the fire. Now you're going to have some motion, some action. You can have your fan start to fan, and you're able to put out the fire. So it gets a little bit bigger, but it's still manageable. It is still controllable. And you can fan the wind of liberation. And even though it's all imagery, but this is something that you do with your hand. This is something that you do with the fan. It's something that you are still able to control, that you are something that's still able to maintain. So fanning the wind of liberation is the next step up, not just talking about the Four Noble Truths. You're now trying to eliminate afflictions that's a little bit bigger, a little bit harder, right? There are some habitual tendencies that are harder to get rid of. There are some difficulties in trying to removing this affliction. That's just the way it is. At first, it's easy to do. At first, it's easy to get rid of some of the low-hanging fruits. Now the fruits are a little bit higher. You need to make more effort to get rid of them. And that you take a step up from the let fall the drops of dew, move on to fanning the wind of liberation. Next, the coolness of the Dharma is rained down upon ignorance. So once again, the scale of effort, the scale of teaching move up one more time. It's no longer a particular action by an individual. It's no longer somebody fanning. It's not an action that can be done by a person. This is talking about a group of energy that's put together over a piece of land. This is called raining down. Raining down. So it's not one flame, but you can imagine if a particular house is on fire. Now you need something that's like raining down, right? You have the fire trucks coming and the water has to rain down. It's not just drops of dew. Drops of dew won't do anything to correct all these problems. Drop of dew cannot do anything when the entire house is on fire. And you can't possibly fan the fire when the entire house is on fire, right? You can't fan it. It's only going to make it worse, right? So you rain down, the coolness of Dharma is rained down. And this is the hardest of all the afflictions that you need to get rid of. So in Chinese, it talks about the 12 cyclic affinities, that it traces all the afflictions back to its origin, back to its source, which is ignorance. And is it going to be simple? No, it's not. And that's the hardest of all the afflictions that you can get rid of. And therefore, the scales once again move up. The amount of effort, the amount of energy that you have to go through in order for you to apply and practice this learning is once again move up further. And up until now, it's all talking about individual. Each individual that is trying to remove and eliminate their affliction is required to apply. And finally, we're here pouring the stream of the great vehicle. And this is not just talking about, it's not talking about one part of the land. This is talking about the great piece of land where it's not just, you come here with the fire hydrant or you come here with the fire truck and it pours, it rained down the water. This is talking about taking the water from an entire river, taking the water from an entire lake, taking the water from the entire ocean and pour that onto this piece of land. That's the scale that the Buddha was talking about, because it's not just talking about an individual anymore. It's talking about we are tied with everybody else. All the followers, disciples in the audience, they're thinking about getting rid of their own affliction. While that is fine, that is okay, because they want to get rid of the afflictions in order to remove the suffering that we all have. After all, we know from the first noble truth, life is suffering. Their goal is to eliminate the suffering. And they've done all of that, right? It was rained down. The Dharma was rained down on their lives, and they're able to get rid of even the source, the origin of all their afflictions. They're done. They're done. And the Buddha is telling them, you're not done, because ultimately you're connected to everybody else. You're connected to all sentient beings. You are not done. And why aren't you done? Let's imagine right now that all the followers and disciples think that they're done, and they live far and away in the mountains, secluded from people, because they're done. They don't want to be interacting with people, because all that does is to generate more afflictions. Therefore, they stay away from people. They live deep, secluded in the mountain, and they're just there doing their own practice, right? So is their suffering done? No. Look at what just happened. In September 23rd, on September 23rd, a typhoon hit Taiwan, and it didn't even land. The typhoon did not even make landfall in Taiwan, but it brought so much rain here in Hualien that one of the town, Guangfu, was flooded completely with all the mud. And it just talks to you that this town has only 8,000 people, a population of 8,000 people. And in the 3 weeks since the flooding and the landslide, this town that has 8,000 people has seen more than 200,000 people coming into this town to help. Now, what I'm trying to say is that the suffering of an individual is always going to be tied in with everybody else. So even though you are getting rid of your own suffering, unfortunately, we all understand that when something comes, we're all connected. So your own suffering is connected with everybody else's suffering. Even though you are getting rid of your own affliction, the goal should be to get rid of the afflictions of everybody else in order for you yourself to get rid of the suffering completely. So put all four things together. It's actually connected in the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, one right after the other. Drops of dew, upgrading to fanning the wind, upgrading to raining down, upgrading to finally pouring the stream. And I think this is what the Buddha was explaining to everybody. What we were doing is not enough anymore. What we are doing need to be upgraded. We can't just stop here by thinking that we are done. We had to continue on and help everybody else. I am done, but now I'm able to learn to become the teacher. I have been a good student. I'm done with all my homework, but now my job is to make sure everybody else finishes their homework and understand what they need to do. And I think that's what I meant by the turning point in teaching. So that's my sharing for today. And I wish that everybody, we follow this thinking that the Sutra of Infinite Meaning is indeed a turning point for the teachings, and that we are going to follow this just as Master Ching took us, so that we are able to continue on and figuring out and learning together how to help everybody and becoming the great guiding teachers of Dharma. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Ayo, Brother Joe. Yeah, me too.
Thank you, Brother Joe. Thank you so much, Brother Joe, for another heartfelt and inspiring sharing. Always so relatable, and full of practical wisdom. We are not just here to help our own self. Once we are at the same time going among the masses and to help other people as well. And Brother Joe used a very good analogy of the recent typhoon that hit Guangzhou, the small town in Hualien. So when we are all interconnected, so when our neighbor is not well, we are also affected as well. 感恩 so much, Brother Joe. Is there any questions or anyone who would like to share a reflection? Is there anyone who would like to ask Brother Joe any question? Brother Joe, the situation in Hualien has already improved lots, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. It has improved greatly thanks to the 200,000 people, volunteers that come onto this place. It's about an hour drive, more than an hour drive from where we are. We're safe, but it's going to take a lot more. It's not just the manpower. It's going to take a lot more, and we have already done nearly, 1,800 households of distribution, nearly 2,000 household of distribution we have done in the past 2 days as well as last weekend. So it's good, but it's going to take a lot more. Now it's going to be thinking, in order for the whole town to be able to revive, you have to sort of have a temporary housing elsewhere, so that the big machineries and all the temporary lakes and all of that, there still are threats and danger for future floods. So they're gonna have to fix this problem and get to the roots of the problems. So they might have to relocate the entire town to somewhere else. And whether this place is still livable in the future, they need to make that assessment. So maybe they had to relocate the entire town permanently, and that's going to be a great lot of work. So I think there's still a lot more to do, but the first wave of the cleaning and restoring is sort of done, and we've done the first steps of distribution, and hopefully that we are on our way to recovery. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Joe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's really heartfelt, really inspiring to see all the volunteers coming together to help this affected village, affected town. Thank you so much. So before we continue, let us switch on our video, and we take a quick group photo. Please turn on if you can. I shall take this. Okay, 1, 2, smile. Okay, done. And so much, Brother Joe. So next we are going to have our next speaker is Brother Jeffrey Look. Brother Jeffrey Look, is he online? Is Brother Jeffrey?
Yeah. Yes, I'm online.
Oh yes, brother. Sorry. Brother Jeffrey, he's one of our computer man, has been leading a wonderful project, giving new life to old laptops, and helping care recipients, refugees, and youth in Bodhgaya to gain new skills and opportunities. So welcome, Brother Joe, and looking forward to your inspiring journey. Over to you, Gan.
Okay, I start my screen share.
Yes, please.
Just a moment. Okay, is my screen on?
No, brother.
No. Oops. Let me see. Now I'm in trouble. share. Okay, does that work now?
Yes, great.
Okay. So, good morning, brothers and sisters. First, my apologies for not being in Sechi uniform. I'm in Melbourne now, and when I was packing last month, it was a, it was a big rush, so I forgot to pack my uniform. This morning, I'll be sharing my experience to teach for young students how to do laptop repairs in Sechi, Bodhgaya in July. Now my screen is not working. Okay, got it now. First, a bit of background on Sechi, Bodhgaya. It started activities in March of 2023, so just below 3 years. And it moved to Hotel Shanti for all their activities that they have about 18 to 20 staff there, locals and overseas volunteers, and it's quite a complete setup they have there in Hotel Shanti. All the activities are carried out there, and on the first floor they have 20 rooms, twin sharing. So overseas visiting volunteers like us will be staying at the same location. For the laptops, they have about all these are old laptops at Bodhgaya. As you can see, mostly 10 to 14 years old, and many comes from the computer recycling team here in Malaysia. In fact, I saw some of the laptops prepared by me, and they were brought to Bodhgaya by visiting Sechi volunteers. So when I was there, they have 64 laptops. About 23 are used for computer training. These are the older laptops. You can see the class in the top right photos. They teach Office, Words, Excel, PowerPoint, Windows, and Google Chrome at the class there. In the bottom right is where the office is, administration and office is. So 16 of the laptops are used by the staff there for their searchy work and for their planning, and the staff are allowed to take the laptops back to their house after work, and the balance 25 were given to us for repairs or checking because don't have power or were slow, usual laptops problems. So these were the 4 trainees assigned to me to teach laptop repairs. They are quite young, 18 years old, just finished their high school, and they are not working. They have been switching for the last 1.5 years, 2 of them in the photography team and the other 2 in the video team. So they have been in Searchy every day to record the activities of the various missions. When I asked them why they want to join the laptop repair training, they explained that they are already in the computer training class, and they are also using the laptops for their photography and video activities. So in a way, it's like continuation of what they are doing. And since they are not working, they know for sure they won't be going to college. So if they learn laptop repair, this could be a job opportunity for them later. So we agreed to do the laptop training Monday to Saturday from 9 to 4:30. I explained to the trainees that they only need about 2 to 3 weeks to learn laptop repairs because we will use ChatGPT to overcome their lack of technical knowledge, and also there are a lot of YouTube tutorials to show them how to take apart any laptops we have. The trainee kind of smiled at me and they told me, okay, YouTube is not a problem. They all have handphone and they have used, they're teenagers, so they are used to YouTubes. But as far as ChatGPT is concerned, they've heard about it, but they have no idea how to use ChatGPT. And in so far as 2 to 3 weeks, they did ask around when they realized they are going to learn laptop repairs, and they were told it would take 2 to 3 years to learn laptop repairs, not 2 to 3 weeks. So on that note, we started the training. For the first laptop, I did the demonstration to them, show them how to use YouTube to take apart to take apart that particular laptop model, and it was quite an easy one. We managed to open the back in 5 minutes, and straight away you can see the power cable was loose. So all we have to do was push the cable back into the connector, snap it shut, and the laptop boot up straight away. So the trainees were all very excited, and they said, "Oh, laptop repairs are it's so simple," and they want to take apart all the laptops in the room. And I have to tell the trainee, no, there is a sequence for repairing old laptops that are giving problem. So, for example, if the complaint is that it's a slow laptop, we first have to do the visual checks. For example, is it slow because we are using a underpowered charger, or is it a low quality chip anyway? So no matter what you do, it's going to be slow. After the visual check, we have to do the diagnostic test using Windows tools like Task Manager. For example, is the RAM too small, so just open 1 or 2 applications and the RAM is overloaded. So only as a last resort do we take apart laptop to clean the fan and the thermal paste, because again, these are old laptops, 10 to 14 years old. They may be slow, but it's working. But you take it apart, put it back again, it may not even start up. So we try to avoid taking apart laptop as much as we can. So we do it as a step-by-step process. And the training process, for the first 2 laptops, which is in the top right photo, I asked all the 4 to work together so they can help each other. After that, they start working in pairs, and finally, during the last 1-2 weeks, they were able to do repair on their own. So we use step-by-step process. First, we use ChatGPT to identify all the potential causes and solutions for that particular laptop problem, and then from the list identified by ChatGPT, do the physical checks first, followed by the diagnostic test, And finally, if both checks and the test doesn't work, then only we use YouTube to open the laptop to do the repair or to replace the parts that is not functioning. And I explained to them that my role is to show or explain things that YouTube or ChatGPT may not explain. So, for example, how do we use the prying tools? How do we use multimeter to test for power? Or the ChatGPT may say, oh, you need to check RAM cards, but the trainees don't even know how a RAM card looks like. So I need to show them this is the RAM card and what are the various types of RAM cards, and also how to place their screws so that later when they have to reassemble the laptop, they know exactly which screw goes to which part of the laptop. And I force all the trainees to direct all questions, technical questions to ChatGPT, because they need to learn how to ask ChatGPT. I keep reminding them I won't be around in 3 weeks, so they need to learn how to use ChatGPT quickly. So this was the final results of the 25 laptops given to us for repair. Only 3 could not be repaired because of motherboard problem. For me, most important is I only repaired the first one, and the rest were all done by the trainees. So I feel confident that in future, if more laptops break down in Bodhgaya, the trainees will be able to do the repair themselves, and I won't need to go again. Other related training, yeah. So in addition to laptop repairs, I also teach how to install Windows, teach the trainee how to install Windows, how to install Microsoft Office. Bodhgaya is a small town, so any parts they need, we have to buy online from Amazon or from Flipkart, and the trainees have not purchased before online. So I show them how to use Amazon and how to purchase from it. The laptops also come from different places, and their power plugs are different from the Indian power plugs. So teach them how to change it, so that change the power plugs to the Indian power plugs, and so use other tools, the drills, the glue guns. So as you can see in the right, there's a lot of equipment that we need for laptop repair. Yes, and since they are going to hopefully start work soon, I was also asked to teach them some skills they will need for their work life. So these are some of the skills that I taught them. Honestly, punctuality is not considered important in India, and I have to keep emphasizing to them that punctuality is very important. It shows that you respect other people time. And since they are young, I emphasize to them that they must always have a goal in life, but make sure it's realistic, because the world is changing. And more important and equally important, not only have a goal, but also we must set steps on how to achieve their goals. And also that they must always try to improve themselves. Most of these things I taught them, I took from the 7 basic habits. And we were also asked to look at the staff complaints on their laptops. In a way, it's understood. You give 10, 14 years old laptops to staff, they are bound to be complaints. It's slow, not enough memory. So I managed to get Bodhgaya to agree to upgrade all the staff laptops to minimum working standards. The RAM must be at least 12 GB and the memory must be at least 500 GB. And so the trainees were in the process of doing all the upgrades for the staff. And I also taught them how to do laptop cleanup. For example, when the staff resign and return the laptop to Sergi, they need to know how to clean up all the temporary files using disk cleanup and also clean up all the old data files and use system file checker to clear all the old system files they have or corrupted system files. And also, I mean, Bodhgaya realistically only need 40 laptops, not the 60 working laptops that we have. I mean, there's only 20 students in the computer laptop class, 16 in the office, so plus a few spares. So altogether, you need only about 40, so if we leave the balance 20 in the cupboard, it's working now, but after a while, it will stop working if you don't use it for 1-2 years. So it was agreed to let the trainee each take back a laptop so they can continue practicing what they have learned. And I submitted a plan that these old but working laptops be donated to schools and colleges for their computer class or for giving to poor students. So this is my reward, because we only do training Monday to Saturday. So during the weekends, the trainee will take me to all these places in Bodhgaya, and other volunteers also join us to visit these places. The bottom right is the most important temple, the Bodhi temple, where the enlightenment tree is. And since we are out, we also take the opportunity to have meals in several restaurants, and the yogurt drink there was very nice. During the last week, since the trainees are quite independent, I also took the opportunity to join other activities. These are the charity mission visits, as well as the bottom are the education team visits. It's quite challenging, I think, for especially for the charity team. As you can see, every morning they have to go out in this open air tut, and the drivers are really they're crazy the way they drive, and you can see the conditions of the home, especially the place they have to walk is you have to be very careful where you step. So I think it's very different from visiting the poor in Malaysia. So I'm glad to have the opportunity to experience it. Also join other activities in the office. On the left is the various trainings organized by Sister GT. The right are the medical mission work, health talk, and the bottom right, Sister Chui San there help this lady who is blind get her eye operation. And everywhere we go, there are children, and I find that they just love being taken photograph. They like their own pictures. So the training was featured in a Thai article, and during the interview for the articles, the trainees said they were very amazed that they can learn laptop repair so quickly, and they believe it is a career opportunity for them, and definitely they will supply any repair support needed at Bodhgaya later, and they were happy to have the opportunity to learn other living skills that were taught to them, and so they feel more confident of themselves. So of course I'm very happy to hear the trainees' comments. I think it's quite meaningful to know that I may have made a difference to their life. These trainees, they are quite clever, very eager to learn, and they are always cheerful. Sometimes I have to scold them for being late, but they don't take offense. They just smile and continue. And they are also very supportive of Sergi. Every day, they will walk almost half an hour to Sergi office to do their photography and videography activities. My biggest challenge is the Indian accent. It took me a couple of days before I can fully understand the Indian English, but they don't have a problem understanding my Malaysian English because we have a lot of Malaysian volunteers there, so they are used to it. So I left with very good memories of my trip there. The warmth and the hospitality shown by the local as well as overseas volunteers there is truly amazing. I'm very touched. And also when I went out with them and observed how the volunteers, the compassion shown by the volunteers and the dedication shown by the volunteers is something that I will always remember. And like all other overseas volunteer, when we leave, all the staff will come out, sing the goodbye song, and just bid you goodbye. And so it's a very touching farewell. You feel very emotional about it, something you will always remember. So with that, thank you very much. I will end my sharing here and pass the floor back to Sister Huang.
And so much, Brother Jeffrey, look for your heartwarming and inspiring sharing from Australia. And it's truly, truly heartwarming to see how your love and patience, the sincerity have given hope to the youth in Bodhgaya. And that was through the farewell that you yourself was so truly touched. And then through your laptop repair training, you have not only taught practical skills, but also other living skills, punctuality, for example. And your example reminds us that with compassion and creativity, even simple acts like refurbishing old laptops can transform lives. Thank you once again, Brother Jeffrey, for showing us what it means to serve with both heart and skill, and earn so much and have a good time in Australia.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we have two more minutes. Is there any questions from the floor?
Brother Jeffrey, I think when I look at the photo, you are like grandfather to a big group of grandchildren. Yeah, well done. I think all these young youth look at you like the big grandfather, very wise grandfather. Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, the thing that impressed me most is they are always very cheerful. I remember sometimes I scold them because they come late to the class, and I keep emphasizing to them they must be punctual. And later I felt bad, so I apologized to them for scolding them, and they just smile and they say, "It's okay. We are young. We are used to being scolded. Whole life I'm being scolded by teacher, my mother, my father. Anybody will scold me. So you want to scold? Just scold. It's okay." It's a new experience for me teaching these teenagers.
Canon so much, Brother Jeffrey. Well done.
Yeah, and Brother Jeffrey, for all the joyful stories from Bodhgaya. And lastly, we are happy to have Brother Derek Tan from Malacca. Are you now in Malacca, Brother Jeffrey? Brother Derek?
Yes, hi. Just want to
Yeah.
check if my voice is audible.
Yes, loud and
Yeah,
clear.
okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'm here at Malacca right now, and it's a peaceful hall because today we have another event, which is the Pademo in the National State lah. So, you might hear some background noise, so do bear with me.
Yeah, it's here. We can't hear the background noise from here, and your voice is loud and clear. I understand from Sister Siu Ching that you are actually following your mother's footstep, who is also a Tzu Chi commissioner. And Brother Derek has taken up this compassionate path and become a commissioner yourself. And today you'll be sharing with us on the topic, staying true to one's original aspiration. And we are really looking forward to listen to your sharing. Ganon so much.
Okay, thank you, Sister Huang. Alright, so let me just share my screen. Just want to check if any one of you is viewing my camera
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the topics for today is my favorite topic today is staying true to one's original aspiration. So first, I think I'll do some short introduction on who I am. So most of the people around me know me as Derek. I'm actually originally from Negeri Sembilan. But then back in those uni days, I furthered my study to Malacca, and for this year itself, I'm actually 26 years old. So funny thing is that Sister Su Ching actually invited me 2 years ago, back in my certification ceremony. But I think at that time I turned her down because I felt like I just simply do not have enough preparation to share my story. But eventually, opportunity brought us back together. So I met Sister Chuting at one of the TEL events, and we eventually connected back, and yeah, so that's why we have today's sharing. So so yeah, I think speaking about aspiration, I think it to me is that the first pure intention that we have. So you might be seeing this picture. So it's actually an empty journal. So I think to me, aspiration is not a grand planning. It's not a detailed Dharma planning, but instead it's an effort that you put in day by day. It's a day-to-day work. Even though that it's gonna take up a lot of effort, but you're gonna make this same choice constantly. And along the way, you might feel like it's actually a burden. So to me, that is aspiration. So this some disclaimer. So do I have the answer for this question? I don't think I have it. But for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share some of the stories from my journey that I actually hope will give you an inspiration. So how it actually get started. So I started joining Tzu Chi as a Tzu Sao back in 2014. At that time, I was around 15. So my mother joined Tzu Chi first as a recycling volunteer. So I still remember that time when I saw my mother was wearing this gray shirt uniform, and she will be actively participating in all kinds of events. And a lot of time I'll be wondering, where did she go? And every time I saw her come back, there would be a smile on her face, and I'll be wondering, where did she go? Did she go and have fun? What are the things that make us happy? And And then at that same year itself, he actually enrolled me into Tsinghua. So that's the affinity that I have joining Tzu. I think apart from my mother's, uh, my father is also a Tzu recycling volunteer. Um, he's he joined but most of the time he joined my mom in terms of the recycling point. So for every third Saturday of the month, my mother and my father were actually taking care of one of the recycling point nearby my neighborhood. So that was the earliest memory that I have for Tzu. But along the way, uh, I found that joining Tzu uh, enjoyable. But it is not until circumstances where I feel like I could, I would actually see myself to being a city volunteer for a lifetime. I think at that moment, joining city gives me a really good factor, uh, allowing me to feel that I can be someone useful. I can be making good impact to the society. So that's all. I think, but all until 2018. I think on that year itself, my father actually passed away due to cancer. Mm, it really taught me a lot about impermanence. Uh, I think speaking of my interaction with my father's, so he actually came from butchery family business. So back in 1999, the year where I was born, so there was this JE virus outbreak that actually affected all the poultries. So the governments have to came in and kill all the pigs that we have lah. So uh, I think since then, my father has been changing the job into the company operations, and it was a major change for him. So uh, in order to in order to make a living and provide enough for the family, a lot of the time he put he dedicated a lot of time at work, and most of the times you wouldn't see him at home. And I'm I'm not in the good terms with my father. We sometimes we have a lot of arguments, and I can still remember that during Chinese New Year, I think for the Chinese, we have this tradition of purchasing new clothes. Uh, all of us would get a new clothes except him. He always say that that money could be put into good use for the family instead of spending on himself. I think back then I couldn't relate to what he said. But looking back now, I started to understand the sacrifices he made, and I think there's always this kind of regret that I wouldn't able to do much for him. So a year before his passing, we actually have a really big argument uh, where we actually didn't talk to each other for weeks. Whenever he's back home, I'll go to my room and sit by myself. We wouldn't even want to meet eyes. So that's how bad the argument went. And uh, um, my father actually diagnosed with the cancer. So one of the chemotherapies was actually carried out in Malacca. So the place that I was studying. Mm, so during my study years, I would actually travel to hospital just to visit my father and my mother. So seeing my father getting thinner and thinner, and also lastly finding out the news that he's actually is incurable lah. So and we are gonna take him back to our home to enjoy his last day. I think at that moment, it just felt like I think in life, oftentimes we have seen birth, aging, death, sorry, birth, aging, sick, and also death. I think it reminds me of the impermanence of life, that someone can actually go from birth of life to sickness and eventually to death. So you can actually skip the aging stage, the aging parts. Um, and yeah, I can still remember during his last day, I would stay by his bed and ask him what are the things that what are the things that you wanted me to do, and also I was also conveying my wish to defer my semester because I was still there studying that time, so that I could spend more time with him. But my father replied back to me saying that live your life as usual, uh, do what you need to do. Uh, my mother and also the rest of the family is there to take care of him. So eventually, I go back to Malacca and continue my study. Mm, I think at that time, I kind of know that this would be the last moments of me with him lah. And I think in the morning, so it's a usual morning. Um, my mom gave me a phone call saying that your dad is gone, and then you have to come back home for the funeral. I think during at that moment, I didn't even shed a tear, and I think I would just simply do not know what to feel. So until the moment we finished the funeral, so I looked at my father's room and I looked at the hospital bed and also the oxygen machine that we rented. I think at that moment, I just have this realization that he's gone forever, and I think I regretted a lot for not being able to apologize to him. And I always have this kind of wondering of things that would he ever be proud of me as a son? Um, but I think I will never be able to get answer. So that's a regret that I kept until now. So, uh, but my father say one thing to me. He says to me that when I'm gone, please take good care of our family. I think at that time, uh, when I hear his words, the only thing that I can think of besides our own family, immediate family, I also look at Suji as a part of my family members. You know, how how can I extend the love and care to larger part of Suji's family? So that actually changes my thought towards Suji. Uh, so I took up the decision to go under training in order to become a commissioner. I think at that time, my senior actually asked me this question: do you think Suji needs you more, or do you need Suji more? I look at him and I say it's a very simple question. You know, Suji needs me more. You know, because I'm young and also I'm willing to do works. I'm willing to volunteer. So I just think that Suji needs me more. I'd be doing fine without Suji. But I think little did I know that I was wrong. So um, fast forward to 2023. So this is the year I'm being certified. Just like sister was mentioning just now. So I'm actually certified at the same year with my mother. So uh, looking back at my mother's journey until now, she has been with Suji for around 10 years. and she always, defer and postpone her certification. Like it's already qualified, but she simply do not want to go and certify because she felt that her job is not finished yet. She she wanted to raise out the three of us, me including two of my siblings, to the point where she felt at ease. So at that time, I made a vow to myself that since I already started going under training certification, I wanted to also encourage my mom to get certified. So that's a great opportunity that I'm actually being able to certify at the same year with my mother. So looking back at this picture, you might be wondering, why am I not in this picture? So it's actually there's a very unfortunate story behind it. So at that time, it was actually post-COVID, and my mother was diagnosed with COVID positive the day before the certification. Uh, I think at that moment I was speechless, and I simply do not know how to react. We actually did close to certification by our masters, but yeah, she couldn't make it. So the only thing that I could do is go to the outside of the room, just to look at her from a far distance, asking her if she's still okay, is there anything that she needs. Her symptom was mild, uh, so I have to proceed to certification without her. So over here you can see this picture. So it's just my mom, me and my mom on the stage, but that's the kind of the surprises that life throw at you. All right. So in 2023, I also have this racial opportunity to actually have a close interaction with our master Sangren. So I joined a certification camp from the beginning of the month of December until the end of the December for the global teaching camp. So uh, I think looking back at my interaction with Sangren, uh, I think prior to certification, uh, our master Sangren to me is that she's a symbolize of the wisdom. That's all. So there's nothing uh, more to that. But being able to interact closely with her, I can see that the wisdom behind her action, her words, and also uh, that she's actually getting older and older. And I ask myself a lot, now that I'm certified as a commissioner, what else can I do to share the burden of our master? What are the things that I can contribute the most to our master? So I think from there onwards, the inspiration started to grow. And and actually, I like these pictures a lot. So yes, I think it's an only picture that where me and my mom is in the same picture, and also accompanying with a board Shifu. So uh, I think Shifu actually heard about our story and share share with us that if the affinity with our own family is short, we must expand the boundary of our love. To actually, he said this to us to encourage us. Uh, you have to extend the love and care for your family towards the others. There are a lot of there are a lot more unfortunate people around the world that requires your caring. So I think what Sifu was mentioning is that channel that love and care towards the others, and you wouldn't focusing on your shortcomings. Uh, And fast forward to 2024, I think life taught you a lot of things, and then that year itself, a big life major event happens. So this is the time where I actually realized that the fragility of life. I was involved in a car accident. Uh, it was it was happening actually on my birthday. I think at that night, I was riding on the highway. It was raining heavily, and I think I skidded over the water puddles and lost control. I hit the road divider, and a car behind hit me. So uh, I think perhaps the question that comes to your mind when you look at this picture is, am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. After the post accident, I actually walked out of the car, and the first thought in my mind is, how am I still survive? Um, yeah, but I think at that time I felt a huge sense of loneliness, lah, and also helplessness. I just felt that a lot of things that could happen in a snap of a finger, and that including your life. And after the car accident, I think I was actually quite depressed for a few months. Mainly the burden of guilt. Uh, what if someone get killed in a car accident? You know, I would be guilt by um I would be guilt by the name of the murderer, lah. And also I would also think about what happened to my mother if I'm gone. Who's gonna support her? So I think there's a lot of negative thoughts around. And luckily, I think I was actually quite intact from the accident, and there was no one in a major uh, injury. It was mainly the car resulted in a car total loss, and I went to the hospital for a full body check. Everything was okay. But I think what comes after that is that the negative thoughts, and also the depression, and I even have this kind of thought that injuring myself. I think to one point I realized that it is not healthy. Um, I have to work out somehow. I have to pick myself up. You know, I couldn't let others see me drowning. I have to be there for my mother. So I think at that year itself, another thing happened is that compared to the previous event, I think I look at this as a small thing. So uh, my house was actually broken into a few months later during the same year. So uh, yeah, I think 2024 is really not my year. It just felt like I have hit a rock bottom. I think a lot of things happened, and then I questioned myself a lot. I think in terms of fairness of the universe, why is it uh me that always getting the unfortunate events? You know, I even thinking about that. I have been volunteering with Tzu for such a long time, and I've always joining Tzu with the thought of expecting nothing in return, and yet this is how the universe is treating me. It just felt I think at some point this felt unfair. I just felt like I have been volunteering, spending so much time in Tzu, and I don't see my life is getting better. But I think as time goes on, I realized the question, why is it me isn't singled out for punishment. I think it was instead it was actually a question about purpose. Uh, why did Bodhisattva give me this kind of treatment? And perhaps it was a test. So it was a test to determine how committed are you on this Bodhisattva. It was a test for you to see how much you have grown. And now that I have been going through a major car accident, I think I consider myself dead once. So this is actually my second life. So keeping that in mind, what must I do in the life? Yeah. And I think there's an inner voice within me telling that there's actually no more time to waste. Sometimes the things that we wanted to do, you wouldn't be able to wait for the perfect opportunity, even the perfect time. You just have to seize the moment and have to work for the opportunity to happen, or else the time is gonna be getting wasted. So I think the biggest thing that I realized is that like taking the part of Tzu, of course your life is not it's not guaranteed. It's not going to be getting better. Even our master sangre is not going to guarantee that. But I think along the way, the challenges, the hardships that you have gone through, don't actually prepare yourself to become more courageous, more self-reliant, and much stronger. Because we have been witnessing the unfortunate of others, and also we have been listening to master wisdom and Dharma, and that would be the strongest support that you have to overcome all those hardships that life throw at you. I think besides our master, I consider myself quite fortunate to have a lot of friends and also uh, all over from different parts of the world. You know, some from Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, to actually be with me on this Gypsy path. I think that gave me a lot of courage and also confidence. So I think I just have to share this. Well, I think there's not enough time. But anyway, this one song that I love a lot. So I'll just read out the song lyrics. So the song started with "Thank you for giving me such a warm embrace, staying by my side when I feel safe. Now my heart is full of love. I would bend in the wind, lay my shoulder for people to cry on." I think that's the takeaway that I have. You know, how can I even repair the love that are being received from the city family? I can only repair that by remaining strong on this path, committed to this Bodhisattva path, and making clear that this kind of love never breaks. And personally, I have been through such a deep suffering. I look at it as I have now have the ability to resonate and also understand the pain of others. So the message is actually quite clear to me that I have to spread the selfless love to more people who are suffering, and that actually keeps me motivated on this city path, no matter whatever hardships or challenges I encounter. So um, I hope my story actually inspires you to keep walking on this path, turning every challenges into a source of strength. And also, aspiration is not a goal; it's a direction the reward. It's the choices that you make again and again, day by day, knowing that it's not gonna get easier, but you still made it. So um, I think the most important part is that to me personally, you have to believe in master wisdom and also believe in yourself. Believe in yourself in the sense that you are able to make an impact in other people's life. So that's all from me. Thank you.
And so much, Brother Derek Tan, for really a moving, a touching sharing session today. And you show us how challenges shape you into this path and staying true to one's original aspiration. And you mentioned earlier when you first started with a blank page that this path isn't just about grand plans, but showing up each day with sincerity and then filling our lives with small, meaningful acts of goodness. And I'm really impressed from joining Tzu Chi at the age of 15. You eventually become a commissioner and finding purpose in your life. Your journey, although filled with so much challenges, has shaped you into a stronger and more compassionate person, I believe. And it really shows that how a purposeful life, when nurtured from young, can truly blossom. As a parent, I'm deeply touched. The greatest gift we can give to our children and receive as parents is the chance to learn kindness, give back, practice filial piety. And I like the sharing that the Sifu in the award gave you, that our time with our family may be brief, but our love can continue to grow and embrace all beings. Thank you so much for that. And thank you everyone for joining us this morning. And if there's any personal insights, well, there's so much love that's being put out. Is there anyone who would like to say something to our young brother, Derek Tan? If not, can earn so much for being with us today. And let's keep walking this path with kindness, perseverance, and joy. And wishing all a peaceful and fulfilling weekend ahead.感恩so much. So, Brother Derek, you're going back to your duty.
Yes. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
thank you so much for listening to my sharing and also extend my gratitude to Sister Ching. And yeah, I think hope that we have another opportunity for me to share another story.
Yes, looking forward. Sister,
Yeah, so touching.
yes.
Brother Derek. So grateful that he finally have the courage to share with us. Yeah, Brother Derek, definitely we will assign another date for you. More than one slot because Brother Derek is also very active in many activities. It's truly our role model, even though he's much younger, like our son. 好，感恩啊。Okay, sister, I pass to you. Pay respect before the end of the session. 感恩啊。
Okay. Let us now pay respect to our master and abode Sifu before we end. And please rise and pay respect with our sincere 3 bows. First bow, second bow, and third bow. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye-bye.
感恩。
Wonderful hosting, Sister Wai Fong. Bravo. And then so much.
Yeah, brother.